everyone! Please subscribe naman sa akin channel para sa Ratsky YouTube channel para ma-update kayo. Please click lamang ang bell notification para sa inyo. Bye! Today is our MAPEH 9 art in second quarter, week 1. Again, my name is Rinaldo B. Malimban. And today's lesson, talk about the prehistoric and ancient art. Ancient arts are like windows or light of the dawn of civilization, showing how people lived and live and what they believed. Prehistoric art dates back to the time before people kept written records about their culture, ideas, beliefs, and living customs. The ancient arts may be divided into two. The one is Paleolithic age of 2.5 million to 10,000 before Christ, and Neolithic age 10,000 to 4,000 before Christ. So during the Old Stone of age of Paleolithic period, man lived in a danger, hunger and fear, and struggled to survive on the extreme of cold and wild animals. Caves were dwelling place for the people during the Paleolithic period. So most artwork during that period were cave paintings, hunting rituals. Models of animals were made of clay, bones, shells, and ivory. So the Stone Age is the first of three-age system of archaeology and divide the human technological prehistory into three periods: the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age. The Stone Age is passed through the 3.4 million years and the 30,000 BC to about 3,000 BC, and ended with the advent of that metalworking. So the New Stone Age or Neolithic period saw the development of building of the structures in the form of megalith and a post of lintel system where the cross beam and placed above two posts. The most famous of these in Stone Age in England. Let us proceed to this picture. The art history begins with in the cave paintings of prehistoric mans. By the Paleolithic period lasted between 32 BC. Next is the ancient art. During the ancient period, different major civilization developed in the different parts of the globe. And these are the different parts of the globe. One is the Egypt, 2 China, 3 India, 4 Mesopotamia, 5, Rome, and 6 is Greece. In the story of ancient Egyptian culture, that the ancient Egypt is developed along the banks of the Nile before 3000 BC or before Christ. The arts of ancient Egypt reflect the endurance and solid foundation of their culture. Egypt was ruled by the leader called Pharaoh, who was also considered as their god. So this picture is the wall painting found in the tombs of the royalty showing the daily life of Egyptian. And that could be the greatest achievement of the Egyptian art was architecture in the construction of the Great Pyramid. The first pyramid was built as a tomb for the pharaoh and other important people. So the tombs were decorated with the steel, a curved stone slab used by monument. Next is the ancient Chinese art and their culture. So the story of China is divided into periods known as dynasties or ruling class, that the Shang dynasty began around the 1766 years before Christ. So the ancient Chinese were skilled in all areas of art, especially in bronze. Next is the ancient India arts and culture. They were also making relief, carving a soft. Ancient Indian art showed that these people have mastered the making of bricks since 2,500 to 5,000 years BC. And there were also their art of urban planning. Next is the ancient of Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is the region that lies in the fertile crescent of land between the Tigris or the Tigris and the Euphrates or Euphrates, that in the art of Mesopotamian. So the Sumerian were the first people in Mesopotamia to follow a system of writing called cuneiform. So this system is made up of wedge-shaped characters that were written on the clay tablets. So the center of Sumerian city and their form of art was the ziggurat, and a step of mountain made of brick-covered earth. And this is what you call the ziggurat of the Temple of Doom. Next is the performing arts in the ancient Greece. So this Greece, the city of Athens, was the artistic and philosophical center of classical Greek civilizations. And there are some Greek civilizations passed through these broad stages. So this is the some of the images in ancient Greece word math. We have the columns, Acropolis, Parthenon, man, soldiers, helmet, lyre, path, mythological creatures, Olympics, Poseidon, Zeus, Celton, woman, soldiers, and gods. So these are in reference from the broad stages according to the Greek civilization. The one is the Archaic period. So during the Archaic period, the Greek assimilated influence from the Egypt. Greek paintings were similar to the style of Egyptian painting. Second is the Classical period. In the Classical period, Greek artists and the sculptor showed greater interest in showing the naturalistic form of the human body. And the Hellenistic period. Another one is the Greek also developed the three-column style of architecture. First is the Doric. Second is Ionic. And third is Corinthian. When we say Doric, it is a simple geometric style. And the Ionic is a taller and more dynamic. And the Corinthian, it is a complex and organic. This is picture show from the slideshow on the above city in Acropolis. And this admired by the structures from the world famous outcropping by Athenians is the Parthenon. That is also included. The Hellenistic period is the referred to as time when the artist portray ordinary human figure. So the Greek also became more dynamic and less idealized. Next is the ancient of the Middle Age. The period of history beginning about 500 after Christ is known as the Middle Ages of the medieval times. So sculpture and painting were used to express ideas of the times, which is considered the Dark Ages. And our architecture found expression in the magnificent churches. And this is the picture or image. The art and architecture during the Middle Ages include the Byzantine art. So the Byzantine art in fire lies in the eastern part of the later Roman Empire in 385 to 14,063. Its capital was Constantinople. So the Byzantine art of painting is characterized by precision, a formal and a very rich color. So the Byzantine architecture is characterized by the large domes and lavishes of the titles and other decorations. Next is the art of architecture during the Middle Ages include the Romanesque. So the Romanesque art developed from the Roman principle during the 11th to 13th century. The architectural art and characterized by the massiveness and elaborate ornamentation, rounded arches are open to the tires. A warfare was common during the Romanesque period. Hence, king and rich landowners were forever fighting to protect or enrich their properties and themselves, and they built a castle and fortress like dwelling with the thick walls and very few windows. So this church was also responsible for the development of sculpture during the period. Since most people were unable to read, sculpture was used to teach religion. Hence, the churches were covered with relief and statues portraying the same by the Bible teachings. So this painting, the church teaching spread through the illuminations of hand letter books. The illumination are hand painted books with preseo, a painting creation where pigment that applied on the picture spread like a fresh plastic. Giotto was the famous Greek artist during the Romanesque period. And lastly, the art and architecture during the Middle Ages include the Gothic. So, this Gothic art with the growth of trade at the end of Romanesque period in Europe, the land replaced money as the measure of wealth. However, the church is considered to have a great effect on the people as well as in the art. One of the greatest contributions of the Gothic artists is the cathedral, a large complex church created a set of the office for the bishop. So the Gothic of French architecture is characterized by the what? The pointed church tower, a curved arrangement of the stones reaching up to the central point, which allowed this design to carry weight downward. Second is the flying batteries, is a brace of support placed on the outside of the building that gave support when there art and other parts of the building. So this architectural development is did away with the need for the solid walls and allows by the possibility of layaway windows in the churches and the cathedral. And the stained glass windows are also used in a cathedral, replacing the thick walls and allowing the light to penetrate inside the cathedral. So let us try to give some of a marked lesson review from the prehistoric in the ancient arts. In the prehistoric era or Paleolithic period dates back to the time before people left written record about the culture. And the Neolithic period or New Stone Age saw the development of structures for dwelling. Third, civilization developed during the ancient times and different places like Egypt, China, India, Mesopotamia, Rome, and Greece. And fourth is the art of the Middle Age of medieval times in composed of what? Byzantine art. So this art is characterized by the precision, formality, and very rich color. Romanesque art are characterized by the massiveness and elaborate presentation. And lastly, Gothic art is the greatest contribution of this art is the cathedral. That's all for today's lesson in MAPEH 9 Art. Please watch my e-class learning platform for the next week. Thank you. Again, My name is Reynaldo B. Malimban, your MAPEH Art 9.